What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're playing The Forest, a first-person horror/survival game that I haven't played in probably about 2 years. If you like this content, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button, as it really will help the channel. So with the current pandemic running riot, my buddies Jake and James and I decided to utilise the incredibly cheap flights to avoid a worldwide lockdown and enjoy some well-needed R&R in a beautiful remote location. Unfortunately for me, I forgot to bring my laptop, so I have to make do with this budget airline's terrible in-flight entertainment. I mean, come on, I don't even have Netflix. How am I supposed to watch The Tiger King now? As I'm not incredibly fond of flying, and can't stand to watch any more Adam Sandler movies, I take the opportunity to catch up on some well-needed sleep after leaving for the airport at 3 AM for a flight that wasn't due till midday. I hope that makes my parents proud. I wake up, and it seems our pilot must have also needed a nap at the wheel, due to the terrible landing resulting in this poor air hostess having passed out with an axe close to her chest for comfort. It's well known, fellas, that ladies love all things axe related, so that axe body spray you've been stockpiling every Christmas will come in handy for sure. Anyway, I pull it out of her chest, just to help her sleep a little better. It's a good thing I'm a heavy sleeper though, otherwise I may have complained about potential whiplash and called for the manager to make a formal complaint. We don't wait for the cabin crew to open the door, or the seatbelt sign to turn off, and run around the plane looking for snacks and meals left behind by other passengers. I paid for my flight, and I want the in-flight food that I'm entitled to. Getting off the plane, we find ourselves too impatient to make our way over to the luggage carousel. Having fled a soggy, cold and grey Britain, we are eager to step outside, lather up in Fact 50 sun cream and get slapped by that beautiful humid 30-degree heat. Instead, with our newly acquired axes, we scour the luggage left behind by the incompetent airport staff to try and find a dashing pair of sunnies and swimming attire. With a fresh change of clothes, the boys and I are ready to head over to our luxurious 5-star resort and hit the beach in order to find some babes. Thankfully, according to the holiday brochures, it's only a short walk from the runway. Reaching the beach, and to our horror discover that we've been completely swindled, and the hotel fails to even exist, and not even any babes. We take our combined rage out on a defenseless sea turtle, which in retrospect is the only justified response for a situation like this. I find quick use of the turtle's shell and use it as a makeshift toboggan and slide down a little hill, so you know, every cloud has a silver lining I guess. Looking into the water, I spot a boat, which I can only assume can be where the hotel's manager would be staying, and swim over to give him a piece of my mind. I've worked day and night to pay for this lad's holiday, and I know I deserve a week of questionably responsible alcohol consumption, bad choices, and most importantly, sunburn. I find that the boat has been completely abandoned, no manager in sight, and I'm completely perplexed. Sure, it's covered in a bit of blood, dirty plates, and an unmade bed, but come on, who would leave such a glorious vessel behind? Needing a place to stay, we combine our British ingenuity and decide to craft our own seaside retreat with our bare hands. How wholesome. Who knows, maybe this minor inconvenience will bring us together as brothers. One of the locals by the name of Jenny comes to visit to give us a warm welcome to the island and asks us if we're looking for a good time and like to partake in any business. We thank Jenny, and of course are looking for fun, so return her kind gesture with a welcome befitted the British Empire of old and immediately cut her down with our axes to show her that we ain't no simps. Everybody knows that Brits abroad don't want to deal with any of that local nonsense. Give us a can of Stella, a sunbed, and a sports bar showing the footy from back home, and we're sorted. Jenny's sister Sarah catches word of the new arrivals to the island and also tries to give us a greeting accustomed to local tradition. Have they not learned from the situation that Jenny found herself in that we clearly just want to be left alone? No hablo español, por favor. We realise that this might start to upset our neighbours and make quick work in correcting our errors, and quickly remove all evidence of our apparent wrongdoings and clear our conscience. Maybe now we can get back to enjoying our holiday. Night starts to fall, and our stomachs begin to growl. We realise we're famished, cold, and still lacking a nice cold one. We do what any responsible millennial would do in our situation, and book ourselves into an Airbnb nearby. We discover that this B&B is still under construction, and that we have to finish it off. How typical. You know I'm only going to be giving them 4 stars on TripAdvisor now. I spend the next day filling my itinerary with activities including spearfishing, ziplining, deer hunting, and campfire sing-alongs while eating delicious mystery meat prepared by James. How gourmet! Whilst off on a little hike during the late afternoon, the boys and I came across a set of chainsaws which would make finishing off the building work for our B&B a breeze. Donning my best flannel shirt and freshly oiled beard, I'm quickly living out the dream of being a lumberjack that I've longed for since being a small boy. Even in the darkest times, dreams can come true. It was all going so smoothly until I got too carried away and a tree fell on top of me. Gee, as if my bad knees weren't already enough. It seems that Jenny and Sarah must have been quite popular around here because a couple of young gentlemen come and visit to share some concerns with us and proceed to tell us we're not welcome here anymore. I'm starting to think that there's something wrong here. Are they trying to tell us that the British on holiday are more of a nuisance than a delight? Surely they are mistaken. I notice one of the gents sporting an incredibly stylish necklace made of CDs, and in jealousy, begin to attack the man. I am the only person around here who can be so fashionable. A short while later, I noticed Jake wearing a new outfit that really made his eyes pop. Wait a minute, are they made of bones? As I have flashbacks, remembering what the outcome was of our encounters with the two young ladies earlier on. I'm quick to ask him where he obtained such fresh garms, but he was quick to reassure me that he'd gotten them from the man selling knockoff football shirts on the beach. After a few hours and with the roof finally over our heads, James and I decide to kick back and unwind around our humble campsite. Jake, however, being a man of the night, decides to head off into town for some potential nightly entertainment. All he said to us was, "I'm going off with €30 and I expect to come back tomorrow morning covered in scratches and bruised," which to me sounds like his typical Friday night. James and I add some furnishings to make the place a little homely and level out the feng shui when we hear screaming off in the distance. It seems Jake is returning home dazed and confused, and look, he's bringing friends. It turns out he tried flirting with a young lady, who turned out to be a young man, and as a result started a bar fight. Good work there, Chief. He tells us the bouncers kicked him out, but he insulted their shoes and have chased him down to our cabin. We hastily close the doors and lock ourselves inside. We don't believe that kids in glass houses should throw stones, but it's a good thing everything here is made of thick wooden logs. We do what any brave gentleman would do in our situation and 3v1 the smallest man, and then go on to torment the bigger foolish bouncers from our windows. We're getting a bit fed up of waiting for them to leave, so begin to shoot them with a bow and arrow I crafted earlier this afternoon, but my god, they just tank all the shots. It seems that the steroid-induced gains they boast can also act as a layer of protection against projectiles. Good to know. James has had enough and pulls out a chainsaw to turn these big pink boys into minced meat, and it's a good thing too, because I was in the mood for lasagna. Trust me when I say that this is a battle as epic as that of Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings. We emerge from our fortress of bravery and claim these big beasties as trophies, and wear their skin as a sign of dominance. We truly are the kings of the jungle. As much as we're feeling very at home in our new bachelor pad on the coast, we want to go out and explore the surrounding culture and try out the local cuisine. We turn in for the rest of the night, give the bros a small peck on the forehead because I want them to have sweet dreams. We then close our eyes, for tomorrow is a new day of adventure. Once again, thanks for watching, and I hope you got some enjoyment out of this video. I am Josh from Elon Tusk Gaming, and I'll see you next time.